Today's video add the manual informations like the cost category, remarks, etc. to our tables through the Power Query. There are the many scenarios where the raw data itself is not enough for us to complete the task efficiently. For example, we might need to add the manual information, categorization, commentary, even as a reference number. And that's what we are looking at in this video. How can we add the manual informations into our queries so that we can then complete our task efficiently? And we do this through using its self-referencing query. So if you are ready, let's get started. For our example, we have downloaded the some bank statement in CSV format. These are the bank statement March and April. Before we begin, we're going to explain what is the problem first. Then we will solve this problem by using the Power Query. I create the new Excel file. In this file, we going to go to the data tab, get data from folder. Now, going to our navigate over the directory of the folder. Here is a folder. We have saved all the CSV file. Now, there are the two CSV files, March and April. I click on the transform data. Now, these are the binary files. Click on that double arrow to combine the files together. Now it's a sample dialog box open. Click OK. Now it's a combined statement which is a March and April. I'm going to sort this statement by date wise. Now back load into the Excel as a table format. Now it's a statement. I want to add the manual informations like cost category. Add the some cost category like the rent income, other income, interest income, income from trading, and other income. I add the remarks and cost center. Now I refresh the query, nothing is changed. Now I add the other files, which is the February files. I copy the file and paste into my directory folder. Look at the data first. We write the first remarks, which is a rent. It's a third position of the row. And the other income, which is a fifth row. If I'm going to refresh the query, data are changed, but the remarks is not changed. It's a static by the row position. Is not a sync with the correct row of the data. This is the problem we are going to see in this solution. For our example, we have downloaded some bank statement in a CSV format. We want to do this, combine them together and load into the Power Query. We then want to add the some cost categories manually. So we know what each row of the bank statement is for. We're going to follow the four-step process. Step one is to get the CSV information and to combine it together and make sure that we have the unique reference. We'll then load that as a query table into the Excel. Step 2 is then add the cost categories to the table. Step 3 is to take the table, load it back into the query, and then merge the cost categories back with the original table. Finally, we are going to add the more data into the queries to make sure that the cost categories stay in sync with the correct line of the bank statement. So let's start it working through this example. We create the new Excel files, open the file, and then navigate the place where those files are saved. Then I click open. Go to the data, get data from file from folder. So the Power Query has connected to this folder. Navigate the folder, which is a custom office, bank statement, and statement. Click it identifies there are the two files, March and April. There I am going to click to transform data. They are the binary files. We want to combine those files together. So I'm going to click on the double arrow to combine them together. Now click OK. I sort the date as a ascending order. Now, one thing you'll notice that is that we don't have the unique reference number. That is a big problem because if you want to merge data inside the query, we need to have the unique reference merge that the data on. So we need to add the unique reference. You can see that we have the source file, we have the source file name, which is a file name of all the CSV files. We can add a row numbers into each of a CSV. We can combine them a row numbers and the file names to create a unique reference number. I'm going to go back the transform sample file. It's a sample file. Click on that. I'm going to add the index columns. Click on the add column, index column from 0. Is the index columns added in our sample file. So when I came back to my combined query files, which is a statement, its index columns appear in our statement file. It is a first file from the 0 to 8. So it will now have and the index goes from the 0 to 8 because this the 8th row of the first file of the data, and it's the second row, a second file which is a 0 to 6, which is the second file of the data. We have this row count inside the each file. Now we want to combine the index and the file name, which is a source name, together. Now select the index and the source name. Then when I came to the transform tab and I click on the merge column, I select the separator as a column and type the column name as a unique ref. Click OK. Now the both columns are merged together. Now the key thing to notice is that if your data is already have a unique reference number, you don't need to worry about this because your data is already has the reference number. You can skip this step to create a unique reference. Now after that, we load the data back into the Excel. Go to the home, close and load. Now move to the second step, add the manual informations. Type the column cost category. We move to the second step, adding the manual informations to the table. In this scenario, we are adding the cost category. Adding the few of the cost category like the rent income, other income, interest income, income from trading. We adding the few of the category. Now our the second step is complete. Move to the third step. We are now ready to move on the step 3. In the step 3, we are take the tables with our the cost category column. We load it back into the Power Query. Then we merge the cost category and back with our the original query. Click on the any of the cell, go to the data from table/range. Rename this to manual information. This will help us to identify which we are working with. So now we will click on our the statement query, and then from home ribbon we can select the merge query. Go to the home and click on a merge query. Click on the drop down arrow merge query. In this merge query dialog box, we have the statement query initial, and then we want to merge with a manual info query, and we are going to merge on the unique reference. So we will select the both of these to click OK. Click on a manual info, select the unique reference of the both of the query and click OK. Now we can expand button with the manual information column. Click on that expand button. Only we can check the manual information column. Uncheck the prefix. I want only the cost category. Cost category column. From we want only the cost category column. Uncheck the prefix and click OK. So that now completed the step. So now we can load this query back into the Excel. But we created the manual information query in this session. So go to the click on the close and load and click on the close and load too. So what we need to do this is going to home and close and load, drop down and click on only create a connection and click OK. Now what that does is we create a cost category column by our query, and it is a previous column which is the manual column which are the created the earlier, which is a cost category 2. We don't need this column to anymore. We click on right click on from table and delete this column from the table. I delete this column from the table. So add the more bank statements. To add it in my folder, go to the statement. I add the February, copy the statement and paste. Now what we want is that when we refresh the query, the cost category must remain exactly same line as it correctly is, not by the position, by the reference number. Look at our the table, third row, which is the 5th of March 2024. The credit side, which is a 2380, which is a rent, and the 25 is the other income, and 1 lakh it's the other income. After refresh, look at our cost category stay in sync with the correct line of our bank statement. Refresh. So this is how we can edit the manual information into our query. Thank you for watching this video.